The first thing I want to talk about is a video that I posted, the Sean Kurhan meet and greet last week. Got posted on Blabbermouth sometime recently, so it was like I guess they called it like they were talking about the book that he released, and they called it, and here's like some fan shot footage, and I think that's awesome. It's cool to get a little bit of media attention. Blabbermouth is like a news, hard rock and heavy metal news website, so they cover all that kind of stuff, and they cover a lot of like, Slipknot stuff. Um, so I thought that was cool. The first thing I want to talk about from last week, I think it was Tuesday. It was July 3rd. I went to a show called the Summerland Tour, and the Summerland Tour is a big, like a package with a bunch of cool bands. It had Everclear, Sugar Ray, Gin Blossoms, Lit, and Marcy Playground. It was kind of like marketed and yeah, like promoted as a '90s tour, and I guess it is. I thought it was kind of weird at first. I was like, '90s tour. I guess you're right. And but I think, to be fair, I think Sugar Ray did have hits well after 2000, like after the '90s. But anyway, so the show was supposed to start at 8. Doors at 7, show at 8. I got there like 7:45, and it was already started. In fact, the Marcy Playground only got to see their last song, and it was cool. I don't know, maybe did I get to see 2 songs? Oh yeah. Okay, I got to see 1.5 songs. Anyway, Marcy Playground. If you don't know who they are, they're a one-hit wonder basically from the '90s, which is kind of sad. But yeah, they're a one-hit wonder from the '90s. They had a song called "Sex and Candy," and I never, I've heard that song before, and it never really caught my attention or anything. But I listened to it a couple times, just getting ready for the concert, and I actually thought it was kind of cool. It is catchy and memorable, and I'm sure if you go on Amazon, you can get it for like a penny. So in the future, I might actually get it. I would never have thought that, but I would pay a couple bucks for it just to see if it was any good. So when I got there, they were halfway through with Sex and Candy, which was like basically the only reason I would want to see them. And then they played one other song, and they sounded good. So then the next band that came out was Lit, and like I'm actually a pretty big fan of Lit. I was really excited. They were one of the bands that I was really excited to see because I've never seen them before. But I did have their one CD, Place in the Sun. I've had it for a long time actually, and there was a lot of good songs on there, like My Own Worst Enemy, Miserable. If you see that video, it's actually a pretty cool video with Pamela Anderson, and then Ziploc, which is actually another cool video of theirs, and it's just a really good CD. I remember when I got it, I was thinking like, oh wow, this is better than I expected. So it was cool to finally get to see them and stuff. They only played a couple, like 7 songs, that like a 30-minute set or something, and it was pretty good. They had a good set list, a surprising amount of hits, which I'm gonna keep saying over and over for the next couple of bands, because I guess that's why they packaged them all together. Like that CD, A Place in the Sun, was basically like alternative rock, in whatever year it was, like '98 or '99 or whatever. Oh yeah, so then after the show, went around and I got some pictures. The guys from Lit were hanging out at their merch area, so I got some pictures with them, and here they are. So that was the guitar player and the singer. I told the guitar player, I was like, "Hey, dude, I have Guitar World magazines with you, full page ads of you," and he was like, "Oh, really? That was so long ago." And yeah, so I guess he got a little kick out of that. And the singer was cool. They were all really cool dudes. They were all cool. Those pictures though are clearly like not my best pictures, but I remember when my friend was taking them, I was like talking, and like I was totally like in the middle of saying stuff, and the pictures came out fucked up, but nah, I just wanted to have them there anyway. So then the next band was the Gin Blossoms. They're from Tempe. They're like a homegrown kind of thing. They were like in the late '80s, early '90s. They were like a really big local band in Tempe. They were like known all over Arizona, I guess. Then they got famous in the night, not famous, but they hit it big in the '90s, and they had like MTV songs and platinum records and stuff. And I've actually been to their studio before, and I've seen that they have platinum. They have their platinum records on their wall. They have a a recording studio, their own personal recording studio at a really nice spot in Tempe, and like they have you know, and like hit single, like they had their plaque. You know how like if you've seen like the awards, they have CDs and stuff. One of their awards has a little tape on it, a little cassette tape. You know, a golden cassette tape, in the bottom of the plaque that says like to the Gin Blossoms for 1 million sold of I think it was a soundtrack they were on, but they had like the big song on the soundtrack. Anyway, beyond that's beside the point. So that's kind of the little history of the Gin Blossoms. But one other thing that I want to say is that I would venture to say that the Gin Blossoms is more popular than you would think, because I'm sure that they get mentioned in the circle of like alternative rock from the 90s or whatever it may be. But if you go into the store, you know, the stores that play music, you'll hear Gin Blossom songs, and like you might not even know who they are, but you'll be like, oh yeah, I like this song, it's catchy, and I've heard it 10 other times. And that's the Gin Blossoms, and it happens to me all the time. And I'm like, dude, it's so crazy that like they blend in so well with all the other like easy listening top 40 kind of things that they play at the in the stores. And I think it's funny because I know them. I've hung out with their guitar player Scotty for a significant amount of time. That I won't go into now. So yeah, they played a set list of hits, and the crowd loved them. Of course, it's kind of their homecoming show. And I've seen them before. I think I've seen them once with the full band. I've seen them do acoustic shows a lot though, a handful of times, and they sound good acoustic or with the full band, because they're like they write hits. They write like pop rock hits, or they used to at least. They had pop rock hits, and they sound good either acoustic or with a full band. So then the next band another band that I was really looking forward to was Sugar Ray. I don't know what to say about Sugar Ray other than I like them. Because, with their first two albums, they were kind of like a goofy, kind of like Limp Bizkit, Korn kind of thing. They had a DJ, and they would play like aggressive music, like down-tuned. And like they would, if you listen to those first two CDs, they'd play stuff that was like a little punk and a little, like not like Limp Bizkit or Korn, because those bands were like angry and like really like aggressive. These guys were more like a fun time kind of band. And I liked those first two CDs. But then afterwards, when they had they had a little bit of fame, they totally sold out. And like, I don't just throw that term out there, selling out or whatever, because I don't know, I think it's kind of a douchey kind of term, but they totally sold out. Like, I'm sure if you even ask them at the time or whatever, I don't know if it's a touchy subject or whatever, but like, I'm sure they'll tell you like, oh yeah, we sold out, dude, we just went straight pop. Because some bands will mature or whatever and just like change their style and stuff, gradually, or maybe not so gradually. But Sugar Ray straight up went from like an aggressive, fun time, I don't know, like guitar rock kind of band to straight up like pop music. And to be honest with you, I think they write great pop songs. Like, they write great like bubblegum, feel good summertime hits. If you listen to songs like Fly, Someday, Falls Apart, Every Morning, When It's Over, all those songs, I think all those are good. I kind of did lose track of them with their last couple of albums, but even I just want to say that I thought when they were writing pop hits, I was like, dude, why weren't you guys writing pop hits all along? I just think they were great. So that was cool. I was hoping that maybe some of the guys from Sugar Ray would be around, to take a picture with or something, or get an autograph from, but they weren't. But it doesn't matter. So then the next band that came out was Everclear. Now, I don't own any of their CDs, and I don't know anything about them aside from that they had a lot of radio hits in the 90s too. And they still play some of the songs like Santa Monica, and just randomly you'll hear Everclear, whether it be on the rock radio station or the alternative station or even the top 40 station, I think, plays them. You'll hear them mixed in wherever, And like I said, I don't have any of their CDs, but I was actually kind of impressed. It was a very solid performance. They played like 8 or 10 songs. And I think you could probably find their CDs cheap on Amazon too. And I think it would be worth it, to be honest with you. And again, they're somebody that I might get into too, just to eventually see what I was missing. They closed their set with a Jenny 8675309. The cover, they did a cover of it, and they invited any girl that wanted to go up on stage to go up on stage. So they had like all these like big group of girls on this huge stage, and that was kind of cool. I thought that was awesome. All right, so then the last thing I want to talk about is the Sean Crehan book signing. If you don't know who Sean Crehan is, Sean Crehan is the percussion player from Slipknot. He's the clown. He wears the clown mask and he has the beer keg. He's one of the two percussion players, but his is the one with the beer keg and stuff. And you'll see him hitting it with a bat and stuff, you know. And he's generally like kind of a crazy. They're all crazy when they're in Slipknot, but he's generally kind of a crazy dude into it. You know, it's hard to say. He's got a lot of vibe, you know. So yeah, he was in Tempe signing his new book, which I have right here, called The Apocalyptic Nightmare Journey. It's a pretty sweet book. It's a photo book. It's just a photo art book. You know, it's really nice. So I got there at 7. Me and my friend got there at 7. And they said it was going to start at 7. I think, no, we didn't get there at 7. We got there a little bit earlier than 7. And it was already started. Well, I don't know. I think it was already started because we got there and he had to buy a book and we scoped everything out and then got in line. And everything was he was already there. So that was cool. I thought he was going to pull some Rockstar BS and like show up an hour late or something. And I had an A pass. If you see right here, my pass is A. My pass is A. So that means that I was, in the A group, the front of the line. Anybody, I guess, they certain amount with each letter. I don't know how far back they went. But, So I showed it to a woman, and she was like, okay, cool. So she took us to the front of the line. Well, not the front of the line, but the front of the back of the A section. And from being there to getting to him, it was like 15 minutes. It was so quick. So yeah, so it only took like 15 minutes to get there. And it was, really fast. That's why if you'll see the video I uploaded, it was kind of short. Because that was it. It was like we were in and out real quick. Not in a bad way or anything. I was like, wow, that was pretty efficient, you know? So, there was a lot of really cool people in line, a lot of hardcore fans. But, so when I got up there, you've seen the video. One thing, though, that I'll note that I want to say is that he's a super cool dude. And I was really excited to meet him, like even if you hear me talking to him, I can see it. Like, I'm really excited. I wasn't nervous to meet him, and like I wasn't like starstruck or anything, but I was just excited. When I get excited, I get like an excited energy. So I just thought it was cool, and it was cool that he wasn't like crazy. You see him as like his clown persona as like some like serial killer clown or something. Well, no. That's a very bad description. But no, you might think he might take himself too seriously or something, but he's super cool, dude. And so, you saw he signed this for me in the video. If you didn't, here it is again. It says, 7 p.m. Thursday, July 5th. This was the day before Mayhem Fest. And then he signed my book, The Apocalyptic Nightmare Journey. It'd be cool to do a review of this at some point. So he signed it here, big, bold print. And, it's just really cool art book. Cool images and stuff. There was a girl there that made him 2 dolls, and if you'll see in the video, he was like all excited to get the I don't know what you call it, that pinhead box from Hellraiser. Shoot, I can't think of the name of it, but anyway, I think there was a doll in there of him, and then, or I don't know what that doll was, I didn't see, but then there was an actual doll of him that this girl made, and they looked really cool, So yeah, that was it. Here's just a couple random pictures. So yeah, it was a really good time. The Mayhem Fest was the next day. But to be honest with you, it's been so hot, and like I've been to Mayhem Fest every year. And even Ozfest before that, but I don't want to get into that. But yeah, I've been to Mayhem, all 4 or 5 years or whatever. And this time I was just like, what, screw it, I'm not going. Too hot, screw that. And it was expensive. I was like, I didn't want a lawn seat. It's one of those, I don't know, it was just not going to work out for me, and I didn't go. And I'm a little ashamed just because or not ashamed, but like I feel let down. I feel like since I can't now say that I've been there every year, now I'll be like, oh, I went every year except for that 1 year. But I don't care because it was hot. And I even know someone that passed out from the heat. I don't know, I wasn't there. I don't know what he was doing, but I mean, you think he lives in Arizona, he would know how to handle it. And I'm surprised. I'm not the type that would just pass out, knock on wood, but that just goes to show you that it's really hot. So then same thing on Sunday, I was looking really forward to seeing Prong, but they were playing at a venue that I'm not excited about. I've only been there once, but I'm not looking forward to going back. It might be better the next time. But same thing, it was too hot, and I was like, screw that, I'm not going. Kind of pissed off I didn't see Prong, but yeah, whatever. So yeah, that's been my week. Been really cool. Not literally. It's been hot as shit, actually. And I know I say that like all the time, but I'll never get tired of saying it. It's just hot as shit. Yeah, it's just hot. Like, it's 110-degree weather outside. It's like the only thing I can do. I'm excited to just stay in. When I think about how hot it is outside, and like I know that I just don't have to be outside, I'm just like, oh, dude, hell yeah. But anyway. All right, so yeah, that's been my week. Thank you guys for joining me. See you guys later. Bye.